Welcome back, guys, to Phoenix Wright Dual Destinies, where we continue to look for ways to defend Athena Cykes by looking into a case 7 years past, now with Pearl Fey at our side, as now Trucy has gone to join up with Apollo to keep an eye on him. With two different defense teams kind of investigating the case, though Apollo's intentions not exactly known, we now come to the detention center, where Fulbright and Blackquill await us. Now it's time to speak to Simon Blackquill, who we believe to be innocent of the crime of 7 years past. Prosecutor Blackquill, we're looking into the case from 7 years ago. You're looking for somebody you call the Phantom of 7 years past, aren't you? You villain! Where did you hear about that? This glass is absolutely, positively blade-proof, right? No, it wasn't me. I didn't say a single word. Oops! Ouch. At least it wasn't my fault. Could you tell me who this Phantom is? And also, you didn't really kill Dr. Cykes, did you? Guard, the guest is leaving. Prosecutor Blackquill, please listen to me. The culprit in the current case might be the same as the one in the case 7 years ago. If you would cooperate, we could probably solve both cases. I suppose I could talk. The one who killed my mentor was, without question, me. I stole Sykes Dono's mother away from her. I destroyed her life. Prosecutor Blackquill. Guard, where are you? Stop dragging your feet, I tell you. Really? There he goes. No! We've upset Prosecutor Blackquill! Now what are we going to do, Mr. Lawyer? There isn't much we can do. Detective Fulbright, do you mind if I ask you just a little more about that old case? Well, I guess it won't make any difference now. What would you like to know? Okay, Fulbright. You're going to tell us everything, please. Do you know anything about the trial that got him convicted? A little. The police call the incident the UR1 incident. Prosecutor Blackquill was charged with murdering his psychology mentor. Kind of like if your lead Mr. Lawyer were to kill you. I don't want to think about that one. There were two decisive pieces of evidence, so a verdict was reached very quickly. Two pieces of evidence, huh? What were they? Let's see! The first was some security camera footage. He was the one, the only one, who used the corridor to the murder scene at the time of the crime. But we can see that that can be, if it was in the Space Center, easily manipulated. Like, really easily manipulated. The only one, huh? Ouch, that does sound pretty decisive. Could you show me that footage? Oh, sorry, I don't have it with me right now. I don't just carry around a VCR all the time. I guess I'll have to see it some other time. So the 7-year-old video has been added to the court record. Blackquill was the only one to pass through at the time of the crime. A corridor of the crime scene. And what was the second piece of evidence? This one's even more incriminating. A photo of the moment of the crime. See? There he is at the crime scene, holding a bloody katana. It was the victims, kept on display in the room. She had a thing for Japanese culture. Wow. It'd be hard to explain this one away. A katana has been added to the court record. Who keeps one on display that's sharp? There's display katanas and then there's not. Why are you keeping one that's sharp around? But who took this picture, detective? The incident happened the day before the Had One launch. A reporter who had come to do a story on the launch was in the room across from the lab. This just happened to show up in one of the pictures he took. So taken inadvertently, it became inconclusive evidence of Simon Blackwill's trial 7 years ago. To me, that could just be someone picking up a blade, not necessarily using a blade, but whatever. Prosecutor Blackwill's attitude earlier was so odd. He's definitely hiding something. Prosecutor Blackquill said he was hunting a phantom from 7 years ago, didn't he? Yes, and I imagine it's getting more and more urgent as his execution date approaches. What did you just say? Execution date? What? Did I say something? Never mind me, you didn't hear a thing! So the 7 years refers to this. There is no tomorrow. So he was given the death sentence. Yes, he told me not to tell you people, actually. But I guess there's no sense hiding it anymore. His execution date is tomorrow. What? Tomorrow? No. Miss Blackquill, don't you think that's enough for today? Enough for today? Today is all there is when there's no tomorrow. But what if the culprit of the current case is the same as the one from 7 years ago? Then it would be the worst possible scenario. Prosecutor Blackquill would be executed tomorrow under a false charge. But that would be unthinkable. We have to do something right now. I want to do something. I want to, but... You're a lawyer. You know how hard it is to overturn a decision. I know, but why? Why isn't Prosecutor Blackquill putting up any kind of a fight? You saw how he was, right? He's been like that ever since his conviction. Totally uncooperative. Not even his own sister could persuade him. Uncooperative? When he's about to be executed for a crime he didn't commit? This isn't right. I can't let it happen. I have to stop it somehow. Oh, pardon me. Looks like I have a phone call. Fulbright here. What? What's happening? You've got to be kidding! That's quite a reaction. But he's making some big show of it right now. Mr. Lawyer! The robots! The robots are... Detective Fulbright, get a hold of yourself. Some kind of robot malfunction? Not a malfunction! They're staging a revolt! The machines are rebelling against humans! They've holed themselves up in the Space Center and taken the visitors as hostages! They did... what? No. Trucy! We have to get right over there. This is going to be one heck of a battle. Whoa. A hostage situation at a space center? Riot police on standby. They're keeping people out rather than doing anything in. The riot police are here. Then the robots really are holding people hostage? Look, Mr. Lawyer. What do you suppose that group of people have swarmed around? But I was only trying to help this nice person. She said she was lost. You robots have declared war on us humans. You've even taken hostages already. Stay away from it. You never know what it'll do. But he's not a bad robot. Can't you see he's just trying to help me? I recognize that voice. Detective Fulbright. Are you okay? You're on your own? Leave it to me. All right, people. What's going on here? Pearls, over here. Oh, Mr. Nick. There you are. I heard the terrible news and I got so worried. Thanks, Pearls. I can hardly believe what's happening myself. I'm so glad you found each other. When people are happy, I am happy. Clonko seems the same as before. When people are sad, I am happy. When people are angry, when people are... Oh, did I say something or did I... Error. Uh-oh, there is something wrong with him. Ah! It looks like he fell asleep. He must have been tired. Clonko? Ha ha ha! Human beings are our enemies. It's time for the machines to take over. Ah! The robots are rebelling! Everybody run! Ah! It's an all-out war! It's the end of the world! Ha 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 ha! Fools! How could you fall for something so cliche? There's only 2 of them. 1 axe. A gun. I'm human too, you idiots. I'm just controlling these robots remotely. Aura? But what? But it is true that I've taken hostages, so you better not make me mad. It's the color. Hey you, hostage 1, come here. I'll let you talk to them. Huh? There's something being displayed on Clonko's face screen. It's the Space Museum. Daddy? Daddy, is that you? Trucy. Trucy, is that you? No. Trucy, are you alright? About 15 robots. 15? Holding 12 as hostage, Daddy. They've gone haywire. A researcher is the one behind it. She's here. Ah! It definitely is Aura. So Aura's making a play because her brother's about to be executed tomorrow for a crime he didn't commit. She said she didn't trust the law. She said that she'd take matters into her own hands. She said she'd kill the killer if someone was to do something to her. She said she'll go that far. This girl talks too much. Trucy, talk to me. Why are you doing this? I'm glad you asked. My demand is simple. I hope the detective is listening. Bobby Fulbright here. I'm all ears. I want you to bring someone to me. Clay, Terrence, murderer, Athena Cykes. Athena? Now hold on just one moment. I can't just give in to a demand like that. So you don't care what happens to these hostages, huh? I'll just pick one out then. No! Wait! Mr. Lawyer! I know I have absolutely no right to make such a ridiculous request, but you need me to buy some time, right? Got it. I'll see what I can do. But promise me you'll never hand Athena over, and you won't give up on the hostages either. Of course I won't. Now I'd better go contact headquarters. Mr. Nick, how do you plan to buy time? I have no idea yet. This hostage taker. Could it be? If you don't bring me that little princess, I'll have Hunk of Junk kill all the hostages. Princess? Hunk of Junk? There's only one person this could be. In which case, there must be something I can use the bargaining chip. I don't have anything to say, Aura. Why don't you go home and play with your dolls? Prosecutor Blackquill. Well, even if you don't, I have plenty, you jerk. Miss Hostage Taker, Athena is not a murderer. What are you talking about? She's been arrested and they've got her in detention. I'm telling you the truth. Look, the person you want is the real killer, right? Well, it's not Athena. It's someone else. Alright, let's hear your stupid little theory. Who is this real killer? I don't know yet. But the culprit is the same as the one in the case from 7 years ago. The UR1 incident. I believe you have a personal interest in that case. It's too late to change what's going to happen now, no matter how wrong it is. But is it really too late? You can still do something about it. You might even be able to fix it. Just what exactly are you proposing? What can I do about the 7-year-old case to satisfy the hostage taker? Recreate it, retry it in court, ask about it. 100%, we gotta retry it in court. Because that will also do what we want. I propose we retry the case from 7 years ago. If you make that demand now, I'm sure nobody will deny you. It wouldn't be an official trial, but at least we could find out the truth. Heat. Ha 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 ha. That's good. Real good. And the point is, wouldn't be an official trial, my butthole. I mean, let's face it. If you find someone innocent and you find out the truth, that will be official. The verdict will be official. Because it's the truth. Hey, detective. I'll give you 1 hour. Get a courtroom ready. Wait, we're doing it today? 1 hour? But that's impossible. Please give me at least until tomorrow. If you don't mind losing hostages, you can take all the time you want. Oh, but wait. If we're going to have a retrial, we'll need a prosecutor. Don't worry. I'll take care of that. She will? And I guess I can be fair and let you come in and check out the crime scene. But Hunk of Junk here will be watching you, so don't try anything funny. You got that? Now follow Hunk of Junk. Right, please, make way. We're coming through. Mr. Nick, wait. I'll help you with the investigation. Thanks, Pills. I appreciate that. Okay, we're going in. That's a lot of trust there. I mean, I'd be like, maybe I should be the only one who goes in because hostage situation? But still. This adds 2 potential hostages? I guess the number doesn't really matter at this point. It's got 12. And 15 robots. At least this big kilometron didn't actually come into activity. Aura dropped us off with a warning not to touch anything until she got back. I wonder what's taking so long. We can't really start the investigation yet, can we? Even if we could, this mess makes it hard to tell what the room was like 7 years ago. Mr. Wright.
No, it's the hostage taker.
I'm back to my usual self now. You are still being monitored, however. But more importantly, an important guest has arrived. A guest? With cutscenes?
I trust you've been well, Wright.
Edgeworth! Edgeworth, what are you doing here? Man, you've grown a bit. It's nice seeing you, man. This is Miles Edgeworth. We've been friends since we were kids. We faced off in court a number of times back when he was... I'm just happy. Wait, I can't talk. We faced off in court a number of times back when he was a prosecutor. But now... Hello, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Oh, but you're not a prosecutor anymore, are you? He's Chief Prosecutor now. Pretty soon it'll be a year, right? A title is nothing more than a title. Don't we have more pressing issues to discuss? Indeed we do, Edgy. Well, let's get to it, and hopefully no old bags around. So what are you doing here, Edgeworth? The captor chose me as the prosecutor for the UR1 case. Wow, she's good. She went all the way up to the top. I gathered all the information I could in the short time that I had. I'll give you a rundown. You're always so well prepared, Prosecutor Edgeworth. Thanks. I appreciate this. I could really use the help. Because it is help. He may be the prosecution, but if there's a duo you want on either side of that Barrister L to find the truth, it's these two. They'll work together to find the truth. They'll work against each other to find the truth. But in the end of it all, we get the truth. So you are one incident. I'll start with a brief overview. The victim was the psychologist Dr. Mrs. Cykes. Yeah, Athena's mother. 7 years ago, on the 7th of October, her body was found here in this very room. I have 2 crime photos and the police notes on them for you to see. Whoa. What a terrible way to die. Indeed, but was the bad, there's a lot of stabby implements in that room. Was a katana really the killing weapon? I don't know at this point already. I'm looking at that gigantic needle of death. Look at the place she's sitting. And the coat on the floor. This other photo shows the other side of the room. I see. The 7-year-old photos have been added to the court record. There's the capsule over there. What's in that capsule? Oh, the capsule was destroyed, but there's another capsule floating around. I also have the autopsy report for you. So the Metis' autopsy report has been added to the court record. The cause of death was a stab wound to the chest. The weapon pierced the heart, and so death was instantaneous. The murder weapon was the victim's own katana found at the scene. For definite? Yes, Detective Fulbright mentioned she was into Japanese culture. The body was found by a Space Center staff member and 2 police officers. The police were called in because of the sabotage threat on the Hat-1 launch. Yes, Director Cosmos mentioned this too. A few hours after the body was discovered, a suspect was arrested. The suspect was Simon Blackquill, a young prosecutor. So, let's talk about Simon. I hear his trial was over in a flash. Yes, a guilty verdict was declared in only 1 session. Not only did he plead guilty, but there was decisive evidence against him too. The security camera video. And a photo of the moment of the crime, as I recall. But did Prosecutor Blackquill have a motive? To this day, his motive is still unknown. He insisted he did it, but he would never say why. So that means he must still be hiding something. Right. And there's another aspect of the case that was never revealed to the public. Yeah, I know. The part about the spy, right? Right. How on earth do you know about that? Director Cosmos told me, after a bit of pressure. He told me espionage and sabotage were behind the Hat 1 miracle. Don't worry, I won't tell anyone. I've always been good at keeping secrets. Well, I might as well tell you now. They really do suspect Blackquill of being a spy. They think he sabotaged the rocket and killed Dr. Cykes to steal the moon rock. But if you can prove that the Hat 2 bombing is the work of the same spy, we can stay the execution. It's a possibility. That's why I intend to help you any way I can. Thanks, Edgeworth. Now all I have to do is comb this room for evidence. Let's do it together! Well, Edgy, nice to see you again. You've grown a little bit, haven't you, sir? You've really filled out that coat too. Chief Prosecutor, moving up in the world. Is there anything such as a Chief Defender? Chief Lawyer on the other side of the law defendingness? That'd be a great title. That's definitely a title we'd be going with. Right, so we need to find out more while examining the crime scene. Let's examine, first of all, the gigantic destructor robot of doom. Though, most of this doesn't even seem like most of it would be relatively relevant to anything. It's just one heck of a robot. There's something written on it. Is this supposed to be a poem? A poem on it, is there? I cut down anyone who displeases me. I make the rules. I am the law. I wield the ultimate gavel of judgment. I am Judge Tron, JT02. Okay. I don't believe we need to bother with that, Pearl. It's not even completed yet. He's right, Pearls. There's no sign of it in the photo from 7 years ago either. They were building the Hope space probe here at the time. The murder occurred after the space probe had been removed from the room. So it was long gone by the time someone took this picture, huh? But you can see the probe in this newspaper photo. Yes, and you can see the stolen moon rock there too. A strange black and yellow thing on the left side of the picture. Note that the same rock is absent from the crime scene photo. Not only that, but before the launch, a very valuable piece of moon rock was stolen. I hear there's lots of research into moon rocks and stardust from asteroids these days. They say the results could potentially have a huge impact on all of civilization. It's like we're in a new space race with every other country out there. So the person who stole it think it was our spy? I'm sure of it. Dr. Cykes was probably killed because she was a roadblock in their plan. Unfortunately, the government thinks Prosecutor Blackquill is the culprit. And Edgeworth does not think so either, which is an interesting thing to see. It's about as cluttered as my office, but I think it's a workbench. Mr. Nick, I think this must be a kitchen. Look at this photo. See the cute little food processor? That isn't a food processor, Pills. That's the Hope capsule. It was scheduled to be loaded onto the Hope space probe that fateful day. The 3 people who came to collect the capsule discovered the body. The first on the scene, huh? A staff member and 2 police officers, was it? And they were here to collect the capsule. Which reminds me. So they plan to use this bag to carry the capsule, is that right? Yeah, more or less. Say, why don't we stop talking about the case and have a nice cup of tea instead? Apollo and Aura Blackquill? I wonder what they're talking about. Edgeworth, did those 3 people have a bag with them for transporting the capsule? Oh, you mean this? It's a custom-made shock-resistant bag. But how did you know? Oh, I just overheard Apollo making an inquiry about it, that's all. So he's looking into the case from 7 years ago on his own, is he? Right, the Hope capsule itself has been updated. It was at the crime scene 7 years ago. It was launched into space and only returned to Earth a few days ago. So that was important for us to check. Judge Tron here. It's weird that this is a Judge Tron. Let's check this. What's this? It looks like a giant power plug. It's attached to what looks like an electric vehicle charging station. That's a charging station for us robots. We come here periodically and charge ourselves up. Wow, machines that maintain themselves. That's pretty cool. If our batteries run out and we lose consciousness, we never know what Miss Aura will do to us while we're down, you see. Nothing motivates quite like fear, huh? Nothing motivates quite like fear. What's this? A giant robot arm, maybe? It's pretty big for an arm, but you're right. I think these thin parts here are finger bones. They're even about as long as my legs. And there's a spike ball and a giant drill on the floor too. Is Aura trying to build some kind of weapon of massive destruction? Maybe she wants to use it to demolish a big building or something. I can picture her gleefully tearing down the street doing just that. I better not think about it anymore. Right, there's a control thing on the ground here, but that's not anything. The drill isn't anything either. The wires, the cables, the big ball. The boxes behind are something. Hey, look at this row of rolling cases. I bet the wheels make it easier for people to move heavy research materials around. I bet they'd be fun to ride around in. We could even probably both fit into the biggest one. I know, we could have Prosecutor Edgeworth push us. I don't trust him not to push us down a flight of stairs. What? Prosecutor Edgeworth, best friends, come on. I mean, you don't consider Larry Butts your best friend, that's for sure. Which for some reason I thought that letter was from earlier. Right, what's this? The emergency something? Ladder. An emergency ladder. This must be the one they used during the evacuation. The explosion disabled the elevators, so I lowered my emergency ladder like the detective leading the evacuation told me to. As Miss Blackquill was climbing down the side of the building, she saw the culprit inside. I wonder which would have been scarier, that or looking down. The emergency ladder has been added to the court records, so it was important. It was lowered to the ground from the window of the 4th floor robotics lab. It was used to evacuate Space Center personnel. Now this big hunk of machine worries me. It looks like an operating table. It's in the photo too. Yes, it was here then as well, with the victim's body lying on it. There's a button here. Oh, I know. I'll try pushing it. Oh, she already pushed it. Pearls, don't touch the... Oopsie. Hey, it's moving. It appears to be a robot assembly device. Disassemble anything in a flash. Push the dismantle button. Sounds pretty neat. Can I push it, Mr. Nick? Please don't push any more buttons, Pearls. Though it still makes me very worried. It's got stabby bits. Well, there goes the robot. Where does the robot go once it's been made? Wait, it's continuing to make even more robots? We don't need more robots. They've already got 15 taking people hostage. Aura's desk is a mess, though that doesn't surprise me. Oh, I just want to dive in and straighten it up. Wait, before you do. Metis. Huh? She just glanced over at her desk. It's Athena Cykes. Klonko, can I talk to you? I really hope he's back to normal. You wish to speak to me, Mr. Wright? If you're going to hit me, please avoid the face area. Hey, don't put me in the same class as that woman. What was Aura like 7 years ago at the time of the incident? When Mother died, Miss Aura was confused. Huh? So he calls Dr. Cykes Mother, but Aura Blackquill Miss Aura? With the loss, she exhibited a severe catecholamine imbalance. What the catecholamine, what? Catecholamine. Never heard of that. Excuse me, but I have no idea what that means. Pardon me, searching for alternative expression. She would spend the nights crying and then take out her feelings on those around her. Okay, she's having mood swings. Basically, psychological issues. After Prosecutor Blackquill was found guilty, she repeatedly demanded a retrial as well. That is correct, but without new evidence, her requests were ignored. And then, little by little, Miss Aura began to change. She started to hate it when I called her Mama Aura. And before long, she started hating the court system and abusing Klonko, huh? That murder destroyed so many lives. Right, take a look at this paper on Dr. Cykes and Miss Blackwill's research. Ponko and Klonko. They're the robots with hearts that Dr. Cykes created. Ponko series features can determine the presence of a human with their heartbeat detection system. A heartbeat detection system lets them determine when a human is present. In addition, they can recognize people by their ID tag or facial features. And they can infer people's emotions by analyzing their tone of voice. That's amazing. I said a cat brushed past the mic if you heard it. Hey, I don't know, Edgeworth. They might even be more human than you. What's that supposed to mean? It kind of sounds like these robots can do what Athena does. Hence the experiments on Athena as a child. Though you shouldn't be doing any kind of child exactly. I don't know. It's just nasty. Nasty to think about. Right, Rebels of Heart's been added to the court record. As it seems, that is all the investigating we are supposed to be doing. But we're going to end the episode here now the investigation is done. And I guess from here, we're going to leave and probably go see Athena at last. Unless there's anything else or twists or turns to happen in our investigation. Because it looks like we're going straight to court the day that we were just in court. Join me for that tomorrow. And Phoenix Wright, Dual Destinies. Now that we have Edgeworth with us. Bye-bye.